Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint, the show where we talk everything West Ham. There's only three of us tonight, I believe. Graham will try and come along, but he's stuck with no Wi-Fi or something like that. But hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Hello, boys. How are you?
Good, mate. All good. Well, a lot better than you by the looks of it.
Yeah, I've been rough for the last few days. I'll be honest.
Jeez. Yeah, get some lemon and ginger down here, hot lemon and ginger, and wrap up warm. That's what you need, mate.
Right, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm a bit like you. I think being out in that cold the other night's got right into me. But yeah, I'm a bit better now. I've had a little lay down in the shower, but I'm ready to rock and roll on Friday Night Pint as usual.
It says it's strange right on the bottom of the video. Here you go. I'll put you up the top, mate.
I like being at the bottom. It's like being in the bunk bed. I wanted to be on the bottom for once.
When you was a kid, was you a top bunk or top bottom bunk kid?
Probably bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah.
And what was you?
Top bunk was always fun because it's unlike being on a normal bed, isn't it? You get to feel like, oh, I'm high up in the air. Like I thought that was more exciting.
Yeah, a bit of a pain in the ass when you needed a piss in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Proper pain in
the
ass.
Limber enough. But no, I'll tell you what, I had a cabin bed, yeah. It was like a bunk bed with no bottom bunk, and had these stairs. And me and my brother used to wrestle, and we broke the stairs. So I had a spinny chair, and to get on, I had to stand on this spinny chair that would rotate and try and get on it. But because the stairs were broke, the integrity of the bed was fucked, so it would wobble. It was so ropey. What?
Why didn't you build a new ladder?
Well, it was I didn't know how to build a new ladder, or there was no way to do it. So I used to do that, the spinny chair, mate. I'm surprised I didn't fucking break my neck getting in and out of bed on that every morning. So yeah.
We had bunk beds when we was younger. Me and my brother. I always was on the bottom, but I liked up the top. But my other brother took over when I got a bit older. I got my own room. And my other brother, my younger brother, took over, and he pissed on my other brother Gary one night. He got sleepwalking, and he got out of the top bunk and pissed over him.
Fuck you know.
Brilliant. Anyway, I didn't think. Look, we haven't really got much subjects tonight, so I thought what we'd do, we'd just have a little chat about the team, because after the last sort of week or so that we've had, a little bit of negativity is creeping in the fan base, and I just thought we'd discuss what's going on. And the subject tonight is, to start, will Angelo Ogbonna's absence cost us European football next year? But we're not going to stick to that subject. We're going to go all around the place, but please get involved in the chat. I'll go to you first then, Ryan.
Look, as I said the other night, mate, on the reaction, Ogbonna's a massive loss. Don't get me wrong, but we've got to learn to deal with it now. And as I said, I think Dawson's been good for us, but lately I think he's gone off the boil a bit. I think Diop needs to play alongside Zuma. Look, as I said, mate, Ogbonna's a massive loss. He's been one of our best players for the last 2-3 seasons now. He don't let you down. Probably if we had him the other night, it'd stick his head there where Malpai gets that overhead kick. But as I said, he's not available, so we just got to sort of forget about Ogbonna and move on. We've got the transfer window coming up. I see we was linked today with Aki from Man City, which I tell you what, I wouldn't mind him in. Him and Zuma at the back would be massive. He's only young, 26 years old, Dutch international. Obviously, loads of Premier League experience, more with Bournemouth. I think he's only played about 20-odd games for City in all competitions. But no, I think we definitely need to bring someone in to play alongside Zuma, because, and touch wood, if Zuma was to pick up an injury, then I think we would be fucked at the back.
Yeah, I don't think it's just his defensive abilities, although they are probably the best we've got. I think Cresswell was a big miss the other night. I think if Cresswell was there, we'd be a little, like, that left side would be a little bit more solid. and I don't think that Cross comes in. If I'm honest with you, if Cresswell's there, but it has derailed us a little bit. I think it's not just his defensive accolades that you miss. It's his leadership skills. He's an organizer. He's captain material. You know, he's played at the very top level, very, very top. Like, he's played for Juventus. You don't get to play for Juventus in defence if you're a prat. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, he's a top defender, and he's probably one of our. Look, we all love him. We all do love him, but probably one of the most underappreciated players in the Premier League in terms of like the way pundits see him, because I think he's a top defender. The way I thought James Collins was a top defender, and he never got the accolades that he deserved. But I think it's, you know, it does affect you. But I think you're right, Ryan. I think Diop, it's now or never for Diop. Now or never. Like, he needs to derail Dawson. Dawson hasn't been great, to be honest with you. Like, and I mean that with the greatest respect, because, as I say, I remember last year we came on here, and I held Dawson as one of the worst signings we've ever made. And last year he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. But you can't expect him. Funny enough, just going off subject a bit, on this day with West Brom, had come up in 2014, and he scored for West Brom. It was quite shocking to see him, especially as he had a full head of hair. But I digress. But yeah, he's not been at that level that he was last year, and that's where we've you know, that's where we've got a lot of confidence going forward from. Is from the back, because we've defended so well. Over the last 3 games since he's been missing, we've just conceded some silly goals. I didn't think that was a great goal against Wolves to concede, to lose the game. I thought that was a silly goal against Manchester City to lose the space that he had in the box. And I think that was a silly goal to concede last night, because he should be tighter to him. And it's Diop can be a Rolls Royce. He can be. He just needs to cut out his silly mistakes, get a partnership with Diop, but Zuma. But, you know, it comes down to David Moyes. David Moyes needs to pick him. Look, David Moyes, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a better manager, or I'm not going to try and do David Moyes' job, because David Moyes, although we will speak about that a bit later, David Moyes is you know, you've got to put your trust in David Moyes from where he's took us from to now. But there are instances where he could make changes, and I'm sure there will be. If you know, if we carry on like this, I'm sure we're not going to see the same team tomorrow. I'm sure.
It's interesting. I mean, I think Ogbonna is a miss, but it's not like we've been leaking goals left and right. I think the bigger problem lately has been Antonio, and he's what could be fatigue, or complacency, or both. Probably more so fatigue. But without him firing as he was, we've really lost a lot of our threat. Like, we've been so much cutting edge in front of goal. The amount of chances, the amount of big chances we waste. Both him and Bowen, really, to be honest, it's crazy. You know, the games we could have won, the goals we could have scored, if we'd been a little bit more clinical. And I think that's been a big problem. And this is why we need someone to push him.
I agree with you with Antonio. I mean, but what I've noticed with Antonio, I think he needs to be selfish and just stay in the box. He's now drifting out wide because he's getting frustrated because he's not getting the service like he used to from the likes of Ben Rama, Fornells, Bowen. And now he's drifting out wide. And where he's out wide, there's no one really in the centre. So he needs to get this in his game again like he was doing. He was standing in that box and he was getting the tap-ins. How many times have we seen him saying his last 20 goals for West Ham? Have they all been where he's been near the line or on the edge of the 6-yard box where he's just there? He is getting frustrated, and I understand that. But is it a bad run of form? A lot of strikers go through it. But I think he's that sort of player that tomorrow against Chelsea, he'll turn up and he'll end up getting the winner. I think his last goal for us was against Tottenham, if I remember rightly. So he's had a few games since then, and obviously he's getting frustrated.
I think that's affected Benrahma as well, because the amount of times I saw it a lot again, especially in Man City, where Benrahma would go on a run, he'd get to their box, but there's no one there. There's no one there for him to pass to, and situations where you think if Antonio was just there, he'd have some assists.
I think that comes down to what I was saying last night, and that's desire to get into the box and a striker's mindset. You look at, I'll tell you what I see yesterday, and we break like this a lot. I watched the Brentford Tottenham highlights, and you watch their second goal. Kane comes deep, like Antonio does, or like Benrahma does. He swivels on the ball. He plays in Reguilon on the left-hand side, right? And Reguilon's quick and he's away, yeah? Now, you watch Son, and this is what we miss. You watch Son. Son breaks his neck. He gets past them defenders. They're quite high up. They're on the thingy. But he breaks. He gets past them defenders, and he makes sure that he's there for a roll. When you watch West Ham break, you don't see that. You don't see the desire, that absolute desire to get into the box. And I don't think that's because they don't want to get into the box. They don't want to score goals. I just think there's a mentality, a striker's mentality, a proper front player's mentality is, get into that box. Maybe it's because they've been told that they've got to do the defensive work and they're worried about leaving there, but they've got to get that out of their minds because, defensively, okay, we just spoke about Ogbonna. We're pretty sound and we'll pick up the loose balls. They've got to start getting into the box, and the deliveries need to be a lot better. That's where we're lacking. I think if the deliveries were better, then they would. And as Ryan said, he pulls out wide too much. That's the mentality of a wide man, and it's natural to him. It's natural to him. And I'm not going to.
When he pulls out wide, this is where players like Bowen and Benrahma need to be getting in the centre. That's the difference. Bowen, don't get me wrong, Bowen does, and Bowen was unlucky the other night. I mean, I watched the highlights back, and that chance where I thought, he should be tapping that in the first half. It's hit the goalkeeper and he's come at him quick and he can't adjust his feet. Second half, he had that one right at the end where he could have maybe chipped it over the goalkeeper. But it's easy for us to sit in the stands and say, we haven't been running around for 90 minutes. And listen, Bowen, we didn't mention this the other night. Bowen was putting his body in front of everything. He got battered and bruised the other night. He worked very hard, Bowen, the other night against Brighton.
He just finishing needs improvement. I think, like I said, there's some where you could say, yeah, they're difficult ones, but there's so many times where he gets in a position and he does well to get there. You got to say it because you think yes, this is the moment he's going to score. Here we go. And then, whatever happens, it goes straight at the keeper or it goes just wide. And you're like, it's so frustrating. If he could just work on that, that would be brilliant. If he can't improve it, then he's been in a situation when you're there, fucking lay it off to someone else. That decision making and cutting edge, if he could just improve that, he'd be an amazing player.
I'm hoping that obviously Creswell is fit tomorrow. I know he's been light training the last couple of days, and maybe they'll give him a late fitness test tomorrow. But as Nicky said, we missed him massively the other day, especially getting up and down that left wing, putting the balls in.
I think he's the best delivery of a football we've got. I really do.
Yeah. No, I agree. From open play, I mean, and corners, but I think Fornals is good at deliveries as well. I mean, you see his corner the other night; it was on point. Souček only had to jump, and it was straight on his head, flicked past the goalkeeper. But I think there's a lot of players that. I mean, Souček, I know he got his goal the other night, but I haven't been that impressed with him, if I'm honest. I know he's played a lot of football, and I think that he maybe frustrates Declan Rice a little bit, but he'll get back to Harry to Souček. I don't want to be too harsh on him because I really rate Souček. But
the thing is, I mean, this is the point of the show tonight. We're going to take some comments in 2 seconds. I don't think we can be too harsh on anyone. I've seen the last few days. This is, maybe I've been guilty of this in the past as well, and maybe I'm just, getting more mellow in my old age. But as soon as we get a string of bad results, and they happen to every team, Man United have had it, Tottenham have had it, Liverpool have had it, Man City have had it at the beginning of the season. It happens to every team, you start getting twitchy, start getting nervous. And the negativity starts to creep in. And this is what I see someone like. I won't mention him because I quite like this guy as it happens, and he's a content creator as well. And I won't mention his name because I didn't want to embarrass him or whatever, because he got quite a bit of stick yesterday from a load of, for want of a better word, wankers. But he's questioning Moisey. He's sick of him. He wants him out. Like, why? He's the best manager we've had in.
That's attention seeking, that, mate. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think the booing the other night was embarrassing. If I'm honest, I'll be totally honest. I mean, we've got 1 point out of our last 9, which is a dip in form, and we're still 4th. So let's not boo this team. We've played a lot of football. This team's done well to get us into the last 16 in Europe, the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, and 4th in the league in December. And the booing, I can understand. Booing, I can understand being frustrated with drawing at home to Brighton, but let's be honest, we haven't beat Brighton in 9 games now. So
it's not only that, Ryan. It's that it's not like we've played a load of mugs. It's not like we've played Norwich and Newcastle and haven't picked up points. Brighton are a good side, and as you say, no winning night. It's an inaugural draw. If I was to go through this is what I said in the game after the morning after the game before is. If I was to look at them 4 games and total up how many points, I would be putting 1 point down for Brighton, because that's just it's inevitable. It's as inevitable as Thanos. You know what I mean? Like, it's always a point against Brighton. Always. And I would have put that down as a point. I wanted to beat them. Don't get me wrong. And I was confident that we would break the hoodoo, but going on it on statistics, I would have put a point. I would have had us possibly beating Wolves, but perhaps drawing Wolves, because they're a tough side. They're up there with us. And then you've got Liverpool, and then you've got Manchester City. I would have had them 2 as losses. So, so when you look at the even if you put Brighton down as a win, Wolves down as a draw, or vice versa, where we expecting? Where we expected? We've got Chelsea. Yeah. We always knew this run as results were going to come on. But next week we've got Burnley. Then we've got Norwich. Big game in the middle against Arsenal, who are beatable. Just chill a little bit, man. Like and it's, you just got to get to grip. Like, and I don't want to become, because I've always thought this fan base were honest. They're an honest fan base. You look at Arsenal fans, a bunch of wankers. Think they're within their divine right to win everything.
Not all Arsenal fans, mate.
Not all Arsenal fans, but I'm just saying in
general.
In general, yeah. They're a bunch of tosspots who think they should be winning the Premier League, Champions League, and all of that sort of thing, just because of their history and their divine right. Same as Chelsea fans, Tottenham fans. They ain't won fuck all, and they think they should win it all. And we've always been the honest bunch. I don't want to turn into a bunch that, start whinging for the sake of whinging when we're doing well. It's all right. We've all had a whinge when we was getting embarrassed down the bottom of the league. We've all had a whinge about that. But don't turn into them Tottenham fans. Don't, because, it's embarrassing, not just for us as a fan base, but for you yourself. Just chill out a little bit. We're doing well.
Yeah.
Go on, mate. Sorry, go on.
No, I think it's the context. And I was saying this on Twitter, especially like Tottenham fans have been making a bigger deal about our run than it is. When you really look at it, we lost to Wolves by 1 goal. A team in we're in the top 8 in a good run of form away from home. Like I said, 1 goal. Then we go and lose to Man City, champions of England. 2-1 again, lost by 1 goal, and in very, very dodgy conditions. And then we go and draw to Brighton for a last-minute goal, another team in the top 8. So it's not like we're going and getting battered. No team's battered us this season. So it's not as if people are making it out like, oh, here they go. Look, this is where they fall away. This is where they crumble. It's really not that deep. As we
all know we're going to have dips during the season. Where, like, if you look at it the other night, like, Chelsea were really, really poor against Watford, but they still won. That's the difference between top teams with top players. We're just not at that level yet. These are the sort of games where if we want to achieve anything as a football club, you grind out results. But
Yeah.
look at the other night. We hit the crossbar. You know, we had one cleared off the line. We had one ruled out for VAR. You know, on any other game, we probably win that 3 or 4-0. It's just one of them nights. You're going to get frustrating games like that. But it's how we bounce back. And we've got a massive game tomorrow, a massive London derby, early kickoff at home against Chelsea. The fan base, the fans in the ground have got to get up for it as well, because the other night it was flat. You know, that's the flattest I've seen it at West Ham for a long time. You know, the fans tomorrow, and which it will be. I've got no doubt about that. It's going to be a great atmosphere over there tomorrow. But look, a win against Chelsea tomorrow, and the whole mentality changes again. The fan base will all be over Twitter. This is the problem. We live in a social media generation now where people can just go online and just vent their anger. When we grew up, we never had that. We'd say it in the pub after, or walking home down the Barking Road after. We'd go our separate ways, and that was it. You wouldn't hear no more of it. Now it's on social media, and it winds other fans up, and then there's arguments, and it's just what the world we live in now.
I just hope the fans, if we do lose, the fans don't boo again, because I don't know if that's only like a home thing, because we was all at Wolves, right? We lost, and we was terrible. We was a lot worse in that Wolves game than we was in that Brighton game. And the players came over, and we all clapped the players because we was clapping them and go, do you know what? It's okay. We didn't get the result today. You didn't play up to it today, but we're still behind you. That was the sort of, I feel, what the message was behind clapping them. And I was clapping them at the end of Brighton's game, even though I was disappointed the result. But we're having a good season. Pick yourselves up and go again. Whereas booing,
a lot of the 7% were there the other night. I'll just say that. Sorry, mate. Let's just take some comments just before we move on now. Moyes has just deviate with starting lineup, or else we become way too predictable, in my opinion. We spoke about that last night. Antonio knows he's going to be in the team. There is no one to replace him. Zuma and Dawson is the perfect partnership, says Andy Miles. I disagree a little bit there, Andy. It's a little blip that West Ham are going through, but still a brilliant side. I agree with Dan. I've been more concerned about Antonio's form. Only 2 goals in his last 10 Premier League. Who realistically can we bring in January into a striker role? Well, I'm sure we'll talk about that a bit later as well. I'm not a fan of Lanzini. He doesn't do enough for me. That said, he showed huge desire hunger last game. Troopsy agrees with me. Points are at the top, are well tight. It's in their own hands. Excuse me. I'm well happy with that. I want Leicester fan, Dalbster, LCFC 92. I won't worry too much, as they are still a great position. Every few teams are catching them, including my Leicester teams, very, very slowly. Good for you, Steve, says Joe. I don't know what he's done now. Antonio will make a great wingman. What happened to the Bushwhackers? Says Scott Wald. That's one for later, mate. The wheels haven't fallen off, but the wheel nuts need tightening. Crossed Hammers says we're 4th, top of the European table. No one should be negative. Brighton are a very good football side, says Cockney US. Boo possibly if you're 4th from bottom, but 4th from the top. What a load of rubbish, says Johnny T. If we beat Chelsea, then no one will talk about the previous 3-4 games facts. So fingers crossed for tomorrow. So yeah, lots of people agreeing with us.
That's what I said the other night, didn't I? I said if we do get a result against Chelsea, and look, I'm not taking anything for granted tomorrow. It's going to be a difficult game. Chelsea are a top side, but if we do get that result tomorrow, then what happened the other night? What happened at Wolves? What happened against City? You just forget about it. That's football. You move on. You know, I think what it is, and this is the thing with some of our fans, and I've seen a lot of it on social media today. I think they're more worried about Tottenham overtaking us. Don't worry about Tottenham. Don't worry about what they're doing. Just worry about what West Ham are doing. If they do overtake us, so what? It doesn't matter. You know, we're trying to build something at West Ham. It's not all going to happen this season. We're trying to build something for the next 2 or 3 seasons to try to be that top 6 team every season. We're not going to win the league. We know that. You know, but
and even if they do overtake us, doesn't guarantee they're going to finish above us. Like they can overtake us.
They overtook us in the league last year with 2 games left. 2 games left, and this is the difference between them and us. They started saying, "Oh my God, look at that! West Ham have had a brilliant season, and we're still going to finish above them." And they get beat by some shambles. I've got no doubt in my mind that they would have lost the game the other night against Burnley. That wouldn't have suited them whatsoever. But there's still some tough teams. The thing is, mate, with the Burnley game as well for them, if I was playing them, I'd rather be playing them now and not towards the end, because when they need points, more, because that's when you start to see things, and that's when they're going to end up playing them in like game week 24, 25 or something like that. You know what I mean? So
we've got a tough run of fixtures coming up, but everyone has. You know, everyone's got to play the same amount of games. You know, we've obviously got an extra game because we've got one European game left, which Moyes is going to rest players in that. You know, you're going to see the likes of Bowen, Fornals, Antonio probably miss out. You know, give the others, because as I said, it don't matter if we lose that game 30-0. It ain't going to affect us, is it?
No, it's irrelevant. Yeah, so just rest everyone we need to rest, and then give other people chance who needs chances. And in the league, like I said, as long as I'm not overly stressed, as long as we stay in touching distance of that top four and we don't drop too far down the table, we get to January, we bring in exactly who we need to bring in. Then that just pushes us on to kick on even more. We get Lingard in, and we get Striker in. Then that momentum comes back, and then we start really picking up some points and moving back up where we need to be. So
I guarantee you saying now, if you offered every single West Ham fan now that we'd finish 16th this season, right, we're going on a poor run now and finish 16th but win the Europa League, everyone would take that.
Easily. Easily. Do you know what? I would so love it, right? Is that right? We're guaranteed to finish below Tottenham, right? They're gloating. They're like, we say you had your best season finish above you. And then we get to the final, we win that Europa League, and we're like, fucking have your stupid little, trophy of finishing above us. We've got a real trophy. I would love it to shove it in their faces, please. That would be better than
it's just refreshing that we're in December and we're talking about being in the last 16 in the Europa League, quarterfinals of Carabao Cup, fourth in the league. Because usually this time of year we're like talking about mid-table, where the points coming from, like looking down. But now we're looking up. There's only 3 other teams in front of us, and they're probably the best 3 teams in the country: City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. So we ain't doing too bad.
Yeah, and you know what? Look at this. I was at the table. When you look at our, I think goal difference tells a lot of the story of teams and where they're at and what they're capable of and what they're doing. And our goal difference, is up there. I feel like fourth best in the league. Arsenal's -3, Tottenham's -4, Man United 0. So our goal difference says where we are, and what we're about as a team, I think. So even though these teams are close to us, I'm more confident on what we're capable of over several games, in terms of defense and attack, for sure.
Daniel Douglas says this video title isn't serious, is it? What do you mean?
About Ogbonna.
Yeah, what do you mean? Well, why wouldn't it be serious? It's a question. We're not making a statement. It's a question, Daniel.
Did you put a question mark at the end?
Yeah, of course I did.
Answer the question, Daniel Douglas. Don't ask that title. You answer that bloody question that the title's asking. You tell us.
No. He just said he's only tuned in, so he must have missed something. So yeah, he missed what we spoke about earlier. So
never judge by its cover. Always look through the content before you comment.
Just quickly, I mean, I mentioned him at the beginning. I mean, what's your thoughts on being linked with Nathan Ake from Man City?
I think
they paid a lot of money for him. That was about 40-odd million for him, wasn't it, from Bournemouth?
I think Nathan Ake is an advert for someone like Declan Rice, because Nathan Ake's falling into that sort of that Scott Sinclair, that Fabian Delph sort of role with Man City, where they just don't need him. They buy him for the sake of fucking buying him. He's doing well in his career. He could have gone on to a Villa, could have gone on to a West Ham, could have gone on to somewhere else. I know he weren't going to stay at Bournemouth because they went down. But you got you go to these top teams and you think, right, I'm going to play for City now. And then, who's the geezer that they got there now? The Ruben Diaz, isn't it?
Yeah.
Superb player. They've got Laporte, good player. They've got Stones, good player. He's not even getting a game. Stones half the time now. So I think it's just a great advert for someone like Declan Rice. Says, Stay on your career path. You don't want to waste 2 years with him.
The thing is, with Nathan Aki,
although he would play.
But the thing is with Nathan Aki as well is that I think he plays left back as well. So he's a left-sided centre back. So that'd be perfect for West Ham because that's where we're lacking at the moment. But we've also been linked with Nat Phillips from Liverpool, who I really like. So it's a tough one. But I think I'd probably sway more towards Nathan Aki because I think him and Zuma would pair perfectly together.
Yeah, and I think especially if we're talking about loan deals, or if we can't get Tarkowski in January, maybe we get a loan deal for Aki in January and then get Tarkowski on a free in the summer if Burnley don't want him going. I think that's great business because that provides us that cover that we need in centre back, especially because after January there's going to be a lot of football games with the FA Cup, Europa League starting up again, the Premier League. Yeah, I think that's good business if we can get him in on loan. To me, makes sense.
I think we're going to be linked with quite a few centre backs, and obviously the Jesse Lingard rumours will come back. Striker we need in. There's about, if we can get 3 or 4 good signings in January, then we can have a great second half of the season, and who knows where we'll end up.
Yeah. I think Lingard, striker, centre back, boom. We're on our way. We're off to it. Lingard, we've got to wrap that. We've got to wrap that up because I look at like the game against Brighton, and you just think, imagine if we did have a Lingard to just inject that bit of energy, a bit more direct.
Scoring the winner there. No doubt about it.
And I think it's easy for someone like Lingard to come back to the club because he knows the club, he knows the players that he was obviously when he was there before, and I think it would just lift the crowd as well.
Hammerman TV says Aki is the worst player in the Man City squad, mate. There could be many players that go there that would be the worst player in them. That's no diss, to be honest with you. Don't forget Jack Rodwell. No, I won't forget him. VAR was absolute crap Wednesday and proved that it didn't work. It was like they couldn't get us over the first point, so we was trying another 2 things. What it didn't check was how shit their keeper was. I agree. That was a goal for me.
Well, the thing is, I work with someone who's a referee and a linesman, and I showed him it, and apparently it is offside because there's only one player behind when the goalkeeper comes out.
I understand that, mate. What I won't go though is because, and it gets complicated here. It gets complicated, right? Because I feel. Yeah, and I do understand that it wasn't because of the player there. You've got to have 2 players in front. The goalkeeper was in front. I understand, but I let her lie. If it's Antonio there, it's offside. What I won't have, though, is Dawson struck that. It struck Duffy twice and then come off of his shin. Now, that for me is a separate phase of play because he's put that ball towards goal. And if you look at the trajectory of the ball when Duffy sort of gets the chance to control it, he miscontrols it, then flicks it onto his left leg. Well, fuck knows what he was doing because it looked a mess, to be quite honest with you. But he's changed the trajectory once to his right leg. He's then changed it again with his left leg. It looks like it possibly could be hitting the post or going out before it hits Antonio's shin, who knows nothing about it. For me, that is a second phase of play because the ball has changed trajectory twice since Dawson struck it.
What they've looked at and said that it's touched Antonio as it's gone in.
It did. But what I'm saying is that the phase of play, if Dawson strikes it and it hits Antonio, goes in, it's offside. But Dawson struck it. It's hit Duffy twice. It's hit his left leg and right leg. So it's gone that way and then that way, the ball. And then it's come off of Antonio's shin, which I got no doubt about it. And when it was struck, he was offside. But that's a second phase of play. He wouldn't have been offside. He wasn't interfering with play because he wasn't in line of the goal. He wasn't in the keeper's sights or nothing like that. For me, it was a goal. And they looked at it for a long, long time. For me, it was a second phase of play because it hit him twice. But
yeah, I think that's a good point.
Yeah, for me, if it takes that long it's looked like they was looking for anything. They was looking for anything. If it takes that long, you've got to give the goal. But
Yeah, that's it. That's what they said. They'd said they'd stop these marginal decisions when it comes to offside. But there we go. Happy birthday to Hammerman TV, by the way. Happy birthday. Have a good night, mate.
Happy birthday, mate.
Hopefully, we bring you 3 points tomorrow as a nice present.
Yeah, Graham's going to bring you a cake.
I see Rick here, Miss Hammerette. I think he said something earlier that we're getting him through a bit of a tough time at the minute, and this is his anniversary of his brother passing. Wish you all the best, mate. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Best, mate.
And we're glad we can bring you some joy in this in these tough times. So, VAR decisions are easy to explain. RE offside decisions, if it's at Stamford Bridge, Old Trafford, and Anfield, is a home goal. If it happens at the London Stadium, it's offside. There we go. Aki is appalling. Forget City. I disagree. I think he's a good player. It's meant to be
it might just be he needs a change of scenery, you know.
It's meant to be clear and obvious, not looking for 3 or 4 different things. Talks are expected to start early on in the transfer window for Jesse Lingard, who is expected to want the move. I want that done 1st of January, mate. If I'm honest, 1st of January, get him in. After that Palace game, he should be playing. It's almost like some of our West Ham fans have dementia. What the fuck? I love them and support them. This beyond all the other clubs' 3 years and 5-year plans. Come on, you Spurs. Okay. No idea.
Weird fan base. Very weird fan base.
It's such a complicated decision. It can't be clear and obvious. It is. What about Tarkowski then?
Apparently, Burnley don't want to let him go. They're happy to let his contract run out for free, which I can understand. If they let him go and they're still lingering, well, they're in the bottom 3 now. That could send them down. You know, it's almost like when we got Snodgrass, didn't we? And we pretty much sent Hull down. You know, if we got Tarkowski, that could send Burnley down. Maybe we.
If they've got a replacement lined up straight away, they might let him go. I know it's rumoured to be between 7 and 10 million or something, but I mean, one thing is going to be interesting because I don't know if you see the news today, but apparently Grant Holt has joined our scouting team.
That was so random when I see that.
Norwich striker. He's obviously worked for Norwich as a scout. I think Rob Newman knows him really well, so they've got him in. Yes, it was one that come out of the blue. I didn't believe it at first. It was only then I saw a few media outlets and that reporting it. So, Moyes is starting to get his own little team together.
He's building a Brexit backroom style. If I was to look at Brexit, I would look at them and think, they're proper Brexit.
Yeah, but we got the other bloke in as well, didn't we? I can't remember his name now. He was the old Man City player, wasn't he? Can't think of his name. It's gone out of my head. But yeah, we're starting to get.
Did he?
Yeah, Grant Holt's a wrestler. Yeah,
is he?
Yeah.
Because I know.
I think I saw that.
I know there was a keeper who became a wrestler. I didn't know Grant Holt became a wrestler.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think he
got. I don't think he does like WWF and all that. I think it's like local English wrestling.
I need to see this. Fucking hell.
Michael Carrick next. He left Manchester United straight after the final whistle last night.
Yeah. I tell you, that would be very interesting. I mean, his backroom staff's getting a bit crowded, Moyes, but if there is space, I wouldn't. You wouldn't say no to bringing Carrick back on the staff.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Matt. George Santos was the name I was trying to think of. But yeah, no, look, Mark Carrick would be obviously bringing back as a coach, but I can't see it. I think he might have something else sort of lined up.
I think he's got a taste for management.
Yeah,
well, he didn't do a bad job, did he? But
maybe he could go and manage Middlesbrough or someone like that in the Newcastle. Well, yeah, Newcastle when they go down, yeah. But I think Eddie Howe will stay with him, won't he, and come back up.
And as Ahmed said, Michael Carrick to help Rice develop. I mean this with the greatest respect, and I love Michael Carrick as a player, and I thought he was class. Declan Rice is a better player than Michael Carrick was. Yeah,
but Declan Rice hasn't got the experience that Michael Carrick's got, has he?
No.
It could be it could be a good move, But look, it's going to be a very interesting January. I think the scouting system now and who we've got in place, I think they've already identified targets. I'm sure that Moyes is obviously told the board and that who he wants, and I'm sure he's getting a few players. I mean, the under-23s are smashing it at the moment as well, so he might look to maybe promote some of them to the first team instead of going out and splashing the cash. But we know where we need to strengthen, and we know what areas, and I'm sure that Moisey would do that.
I tell you, I've been seeing a few Everton fans, and I'm not attributing this to all Everton fans because there's a lot of sensible ones, but a few saying, we should go get Moyes and Antonio, get Rafa out, let's get Moyes back in.
It's funny that because last season when they had Angelotti, they thought they was going to win everything, and they was laughing at us having David Moyes. So,
yeah. And then there's no chance that Antonio would go there, but. Yeah, there's a lot of other Everton fans who called him completely stupid, which it was stupid to even think that, he would leave us to go to Everton now at this stage. They're a mess.
Coming up to about halfway through the month of the season, not halfway through the season yet. What just going off of subject a little bit, who have you been impressed by and who have you been shocked? Who's been shocking?
What teams or players?
Yeah, West Ham?
No, just in Premier League in general.
Oh, Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Brighton has been impressive, yeah, for sure, and a bit of a surprise package you've had. They've been doing Palace actually as well. Palace, I would say.
Palace a funny team.
Leeds, I thought Leeds would kick on, although they have had a lot of injuries. To be fair, and I see your fan bet, Nick. You how your feelings on Bielsa, but. I did think that they would kick on, but they've really haven't. They've gone backwards, and I know they've had injuries, but they should have strengthened in the summer.
So, Ronaldo overrated.
Yeah, I think he scored 801 goals, and I think that's an equivalent to someone said you got to score 40 goals a season for 20 seasons in a row. So. I don't think he's that overrated. Even his stats for United this season, he scored 12 in 16 games.
Mad at his age as well. Phenomenal.
Impressed with him. I'll be honest. I've been impressed with Chelsea this season. I know we're playing them tomorrow, but I have been impressed with the way they play football as well. They're strengthened. As I said, City just always seem to, even though they've not got an out-and-out number 9 striker. Like, they just seem to grind out results and batter teams. Obviously, Mo Salah. I mean, did you see his 2 goals the other night against Everton?
Yeah.
The bloke is unreal. Unreal.
I'll tell you what, Yotta's goal weren't a bad one either, was it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm impressed with the top. I think the top 3 at the moment, I mean, I think it's 31, 32, 33. Like, so they're going to be the 3 that are battling it out at the end of the season. But as teams that I haven't been impressed with, I don't know. I think, did I expect Newcastle to be higher up in the league? Probably, yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I think if they kept Steve Bruce, they probably would be.
Yeah. They haven't won a single game all season.
There's a lot of pressure on Eddie Howe at the moment. I know Newcastle fans at the moment are going to give him a little bit of leeway because he's just got there. But if he don't win in the next 5 or 6 games, they'll turn on him. They'll turn on him.
He's not the manager to sort out a defence, and defence is just their biggest weakness. And for him to come in now, he leaked a lot of goals as a manager for Bournemouth. That's a big job.
Because I've done a show for fans bet, and I questioned Eddie Howe, and I got some pelters from them, and I said that they was calling me an idiot and deluded and all of this sort of thing. Because I turned around and said they would have been better off keeping Steve Bruce because. As I say, like with Newcastle, they've shocked me how bad they are. They are awful. They're an awful, awful team. Like, and I'll be honest with you. I think they're going to be too far behind to come January. Who's going to want to go there?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's going to want to go? When you've got like, especially like they're going for the same sort of caliber of player that we're going for as well. They
want Lingard.
They want Lingard, they want Aki, they want all these players. But Tarkowski, all of these players. But are these players going to want to give them a year in a championship? Because I don't think these players are going to get them out of this trouble either.
Any player that goes there will have a relegation release clause in their contract without doubt.
Yeah, but what's the point then? You know what I
I
mean?
mean, as you said, mate, it's going to be for money. They're 6 points adrift now, and they've not won. And if Watford and Southampton and Leeds start picking up wins, they're just going to get dragged. I can't see Newcastle. I've got more faith in Norwich getting out of it than what I have Newcastle, because I think Norwich. I said it the other week. I like Dean Smith as a manager. I like the way he plays football. He was good at Brentford. He was good at Villa. I just think that I can see Norwich maybe scraping out of it, and I would never have said that a few weeks ago when they still had whatever his name, Lard Farquhar in fucking charge, whatever his fucking name is.
Just a quick super chat, Cal in 1969, donate £4.49. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys, for this channel. You're amazing. I look forward to watching you whenever you're on. Will Jesse now stay as they have a new manager? I don't think so. I said this a couple of weeks ago. I don't think Jesse Lingard's going to stay.
No, I think he sort of made his mind up in that he wants to go. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be very interesting with Man United now to see the way this bloke that's come in has changed it, because he come out in his press conference today, didn't he? And I think he might have got his dates mixed up a bit, but apparently Chelsea wanted him. He said back in February, but Tuchel was already in charge. So it's interesting. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really know much about this manager. I know that he's brought through the likes of Jurgen Klopp and Thomas Tuchel, and he might change fortunes. He's already come out and said that he's going to build the team around Cristiano Ronaldo and make him the main man. So I think a lot of United fans are happy with that. But it's funny with the United fans, because last night they unveiled a big, massive banner for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yet 2 weeks ago they were booing him, wanting him out of the club. Crazy,
well, it was weird because some fans sort of didn't want him out, and some fans, it was really weird. Even though it's a weird one. That's why it's always hard having your legends.
I've never seen in my life a manager get sacked and then have to do an interview before he goes for the website. It's fucking mental.
I think no, it shows I think he's a classy guy, and he come off really classy.
He'll always be a United legend, no matter what. And he could go back there tomorrow and he'd get a standing ovation. I think proper Man United fans will realise that the job was too big for him, but he tried and he wanted to do his best for United, and that's all he could do.
Well, it was never going to work, mate. He didn't particularly have a great record with Cardiff, did he, in the Premier League? Would you take Pookie on a punt to patch a hole in the summer? I think you're a better team. In a better team, Pookie could bang a few. Not fast enough for me, Pookie. But listen, Norwich have scored 8 goals all year, and he scored 5 of them. They're not going to let him go. Do you know what I mean? Like, never in a million years. Like, if they've got any chance of getting out of it, they're not going to let him go.
Yeah, if they don't have a chance of getting out of it, and they'd probably, and you offer them fucking 20-odd million for it, they might take it just for the money. I mean, that's pretty near enough. That's almost their owner's net worth. But yeah, I think if they're within touching distance, they'd be mad. But it was like, again, like go back to what I said about Snodgrass with Hull. We took, and we did it. I think we did it twice to Hull. We took Snodgrass, then they went and got relegated, who started scoring all the goals. Then we took Bowen, who was scoring all their goals, and then I think they got relegated again. Or I think they either got relegated or it derailed their promotion push. They might have got relegated. So it just shows you, like, it's mad when you to do that. But some teams will do it, as we've seen with Hull, or it's just Hull.
Karen 1969 question: yes or no? Do you know who ex-employee is? Yes.
I mean, I've met him. I don't know who he is. I've he's a bloke. I've seen him. I've met him, spoke to him. But if you ask me, like, who is he? I'll be like, oh, he's ex-employee, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think it's that much of a secret anymore, is it? I mean, you can catch him at an event.
I don't know his name or anything.
X, isn't it?
X. Imagine his name was X.
Should we go ask us anything?
Yeah, you probably want to eat an early night, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, sure, mate. We've got to do the Chelsea preview as well. Quickly talk about Chelsea game, but
you need to get in bed, mate, and get some rest.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong there, mate. Yeah, if you want to ask us any questions, I mean anything whatsoever, just please ask us now. Just before we do that, who would you want in January? Who's your personal preference? Like,
from
let's take Lingard as a given, right? Lingard's there. We you know, you can't just say him. Who'd you want?
Interesting. I see there's a lot of links. We definitely need a striker. I don't know much about this Hlozek, but that's on the goals. I can't say Hlozek. What strikers are available? I know he's not a striker, but we've had links with Traore, who would be interested to see what he'd do in a Moyes team. I don't think just because it worked with Antonio it necessarily worked, but I think he might inject a bit of energy and pace into the team that we need. So I think that could be a good shout. But yeah, I'm trying to think of strikers that are available.
Yeah, you got what's his name? Is it the Italian Bellotti? Bellotti.
Oh yeah, Bellotti. Yeah, not Balotelli. I'm kind of saying.
Look, someone's just mentioned it there. Origi would be a good shout, to bring him in. I think he's a decent striker. Do you know I would like? And I watched him the other night, and he scored a great goal against us. That Malpai, I think he'd be a great signing for us. I really do.
He just seems like Brighton through and through, and he's just synonymous with Brighton.
I can't see us getting him, but yeah, there's a lot of players we're going to be linked with. Obviously, centre backs. We've spoken about Nathan Ake, Tarkowski, Nat Phillips. Andy saying he'd love Ivan Toney. I think, I'd love Ivan Toney. I just can't see Brentford letting him go, and they're going to want about 40 odd million for him, and I can't see West Ham forking out 40 million in January for a striker.
You know what? I haven't heard about any strikers lighting up the Championship this season, like we heard about Armstrong and Toney last season. The way they was getting a lot of plaudits during the season, everyone was talking about them. I haven't heard about any strikers in the Championship currently that everyone's talking about and like, but this guy's banging goals and he's on fire that we could go and get. But it's always worth dipping into the Championship. We've seen how good that can be and how successful we can be.
There might be someone that Moyes and Rob Newman have identified that no one's even picked up on yet. So we might see a little surprise or something. But
yeah, it has to happen. If we get to that deadline day's closed and we ain't got a striker in,
Mitrovic
is killing it at Fulham.
But Mitrovic does it all the time, doesn't he? Bangs him in the Championship. Fulham come up. He scores a couple of goals, but then they go straight back down. That's just.
But do you think Mitrovic might be a sort of the answer in terms of having a plan B on the bench that we sort of lacking at the moment? Is something different when we're struggling to break teams down or struggling to get a goal, and you bring on Mitrovic off the bench could be, a shout.
Look, it'd be a decent backup striker for Antonio, but as someone just said there, he seems to fail in the Premier League. He'll get a couple of goals, but he smashed it in the Championship. Like, I think he's on about 20 odd goals already this season.
Yeah, but it might just be one of them. I wanted Mitrovic a few years ago. It might just be he needs a better team in the Premier League. You know what I mean? Like they struggle.
I like the one player I do like, and I've been impressed with, is that Ajax striker.
Oh yeah. What a quality!
Sebastian Haller. What a signing he'd be.
Oh mate, I'd take him. I'd pay 40 million for him.
45 maybe.
45. Listen, I'd pay 50, mate.
Just quickly a super chat. What do you guys think about getting Origi in Jan? Keep up the good work, lads. Best West Ham channel out there. Thank you very much, Steve.
Cheers, Steve. Top man. Thank you very much.
Origi would do. I think he'd be a good signing.
I think, as someone just said there, though, because of the African Cup of Nations, they might lose Mane and Mo Salah. So
they will.
They might not want to let Origi go, but
Jota will obviously still be ahead of him, but I suppose they'd want him on the bench as depth. He's on 60 grand a week.
I think Miss WHU. The question earlier. Sorry, guys. Asked the question earlier. What's your go-to? Obviously, because we're ill. What's your go-to food when you're ill? And I think she said hers was chicken soup.
Chicken soup. Good curry does the job. Get some spice. I know you're not a big fan of spice, but I like to get some spice, get some heat on
I
it.
think when you're ill, you mainly crave crap, don't you? Like crap food.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I like chocolate and biscuits.
You got any lemsip in the house, have you?
I've got some downstairs actually.
Yeah. After you get off here, get yourself some lemsip and get a bed.
Here's one. This has caused a bit of controversy this week. What do you make of the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, travesty. Rice weren't nominated. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, Lewandowski's been unreal for the last 2 years, and he's done it all, smashing in goals, and I just don't know. I think it's always until Ronaldo and Messi retire. I know Luka Modric won it a few years ago and upset everyone by winning it. I just don't know. But look, you can't knock Messi's stats. And I suppose him winning his first trophy for Argentina as well probably swayed it a bit. Obviously winning the Copa America. But, yeah, I think Lewandowski was robbed.
Yeah.
They cancelled one last year. Definitely should have looked. And Messi mentioned
they make a trophy up just to get him something like striker of the year or something.
Yeah. Oh, did you see? It looked like one of them. I used to have at Catholic church, like communion.
No, you know the ones that you get at the shop where where you get your key cut and you got them trophies on the side. They just got in there and got one, and they even spelled his name wrong on it.
I think it's crap. I think the whole thing's crap. I do. I really do. I mean, how can look, we're playing them tomorrow, so it's quite relevant. But Jorginho got 3rd, and Mo Salah got 7th.
Jorginho won the Euros and the Champions League,
but that doesn't matter. I think Mo Salah was a better player in that year. Jorginho was phenomenal, but Mo Salah's been better.
It's hard to compare, isn't it? Like a midfielder like Jorginho against like someone like a goal scorer like Salah.
Look, maybe I'm wrong with Jorginho. I know Jorginho's been very good, but 3rd in best player in the world, not for me. But with the Ballon d'Or win for Messi, French football pick the Ballon d'Or winner. Messi's just moved from Spain to France. He's a big star and a big draw for French football at the moment. Do they want the Ballon d'Or winner playing in France? I think so.
You know what? I just screenshotted it yesterday because someone put a really good tweet out about the Ballon d'Or saying, imagine the list if you can only win it once. The list of players that have not won it and have been absolutely unreal throughout the years, and take away Messi and Ronaldo winning it every year. It had some great names on there that should have probably won it. I mean, the last English player to ever win it was Michael Owen, wasn't he, in 2002? I think
that was when it was Europe, though, I believe.
Huh?
When it was Europe, just Europe. It's now world, I think. Not that it matters, but
but it's always European players in it anyway. So, but it's always it's a bit. I mean, once these two retire, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think they've deserved all the success. They've been 2 of the best players of a generation. They're both phenomenal. Like 2 of the best to ever play the game. But they're both aging. Lewandowski has been better. Lewandowski should have won 2 Ballon d'Ors now, and he's not a young man himself. So like there's players that probably should have deserved to get 1 or 2 that because of them 2, they're never going to get them. So when they're aging, you need to reward the players. It's a facade. It's like the Eurovision Song Contest. As I said before, Messi is a phenomenal player, probably one of the best to ever play the game. He's won 6. What is it now? He's got 7 now, isn't he? He's won 6 Ballon d'Ors, and deservedly so. Unfortunately, he did not deserve this one, and it's like I'm not joking when I say this. It's all because he plays in France now. They want the Ballon d'Or winner playing in France. Simple as that. It's a great marketing tool for them, for French football, for the French nation, for PSG. It's a great marketing tool. Lewandowski should have been clear, and that's my opinion on that.
There we go. That answered the question. We've got a lot of Christmas related questions in the chat.
Someone asked, "What's your favourite Christmas song?"
I'm just like, I'm gonna that feeling of like, no, not Christmas already. No, I can't. Like,
it's 3rd of December, mate. You can't. It's 3 weeks away. You can't really get away.
Oh, mate,
we've had our tree up the last 2 weeks.
Fucking...
I ain't got mine up yet. We're having our floor done, so I can't put it up just yet.
Favorite Christmas song? Let's see. Can't beat a bit of Wham. Wham, great song, Last Christmas. That's a great one.
I like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
Yeah,
Driving Home for Christmas. That's a good one when you're in the car.
Yeah, that's my second one. But for me, number one Christmas song is The Fairy Tale of New York. I think there's no better Christmas song than that ever.
Yeah. Oh, where is it? Yes, Andy, mate. Definitely Christmas songs all the way to Burnley.
You'll get sick of them halfway up there, I tell you. Oh.
It's mad because they just play the same Christmas songs over and over again. I must have heard these songs because most of them are from like the 80s and things like that. And
yeah,
it's mad. I wonder how many times you've heard these songs like over and over again in your head. It's crazy.
This is the thing. They haven't been able to make Christmas songs.
Sorry, Dan.
That's right. No, I was just saying they ain't been able to make classic Christmas songs since like, I don't know, like the late 90s or whatever. They've just not been able to do it.
The thing is, when you think about this, it's probably one of the smartest marketing moves for any singer that has ever existed to make a top. You know, you hear them, Chris Ray, Mariah Carey, Paul McCartney, Elton John. They've all made Christmas. Yeah, maybe not. I know. Has Elton John? I think he made one this year. But you know, all of these classic Slade. What's the other one?
The Pogues.
The Pogues and all that. You've got now 2 months, solid months of every single year, guaranteed. And no artist making normal music can guarantee this. But you've got 2 solid months in every year where your song is played in every single English-speaking country every single day, at least 5 times a day on every single radio station that plays pop. The royalties is phenomenal. It is probably the best marketing move. Make a classic Christmas song. You will not, go without every Christmas.
Oh yeah, you're set for life.
Set for life.
But no one can do it anymore. Destiny's Child tried it, and all these other pop.
The only recent one I think who's done it is Leona Lewis. I think she's got quite a decent.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I don't know what it is, mate. I could never. If you put guns to my head and say what's Leona's Christmas song, couldn't.
If you heard it, you probably know it. Michael Long's down at the FA Cup draws on Monday. That's another game we've got to chuck in the fixture list.
Oh god. Yeah, we'll get bloody Chelsea or something, wouldn't we?
Yeah, Man City away or something like that.
Ridiculous. So yeah, exactly. Man City, it'd be ridiculous. Like,
who would you like to get in the FA Cup? Who would you like to, if it was if it was your choice, where would you like to visit? If say it had to be away, like, would you like
Leighton Orient?
Yeah.
Would you like to go to a top team? Would you like to go to a club that you've never been for? Would you opt for a lower league club so you can get through the round, or best chance?
You want to play the lower. You don't want to go in the FA Cup early on, do you? So you want to play. But I know everyone says Millwall away, and obviously Millwall away is a fucking nightmare. But
I wouldn't mind Millwall at home just to see how the stadium copes with it. That would be interesting. It'll be
carnage, mate.
I think on police advice, I don't think they'd allow Millwall fans at the London Stadium.
Yeah. QPR, I wouldn't mind QPR away. As a little away, like so it's Oval, and it's an old proper old ground. You've got in the Championship something like Reading or Hull. Derby County, actually. Derby County, because this could be the last chance we ever get to go to Derby County. Is if they get liquidated or whatever they're saying is going to happen to them. They might not exist after this season. So Derby would be the one to go.
We've been to Derby a couple of times, I think, right, haven't we?
Yeah. Remember that year when we won there and Dean Sturridge scored and celebrated in front of us and took his shirt off and it was offside. And we had Palo One Shot, wasn't it? Was playing for us that day.
Actually, Forest Green. I'd like to go Forest Green Rovers away because of they're the club. They do all their club. They do like meat-free stuff and things like that. All their players out in the canteen, everything. So yeah, Forest Green Rovers away. I'd love to have them.
What about? Oh, they're not in it no more. What about if we could play #United? Imagine that West Ham versus # the
Ballon. Maybe Nicky's dream come true
at the Len Salmon Stadium.
Well, maybe Nicky might play. He might get his boots ready. He might turn up to the stadium this time. And imagine Nicky playing against West Ham.
Yeah, imagine Nicky. Imagine he scored a right jammy goal and knocked us out of the FA Cup.
Oh, mate.
You had to come on here and talk about it.
You would not be able to show your face on it.
Doing fan cams outside as he's getting a good idea.
With his hashtag kit on.
Fucking cost us the FA Cup, you mug.
Ben Glander's laughing. Ben Glander actually works for hashtag. Only time I would buy a half and half scarf.
Yeah, that's it. That would be it.
Kai Watkins says, Nicky, wear your beer garden. What?
Where's your beer garden, mate?
I lost it. I definitely think Ed Sheeran and Elton John are an item. He's married.
They got a Christmas song together, ain't they? I'm sure they played down the radio earlier.
Another song they won't be listening to next year.
Barnet away, Herring Gay versus Wimbledon was brill. All these millennials begging for Millwall away would shit themselves.
It's not a great experience, Millwall away.
I bet we've been a couple of times. It's not good. I didn't like it.
It's a different fucking. Like, honestly, it's mental.
I'll be honest with you. It's not that I didn't like it. It was just you're literally herded like a sheep.
And not only that, everyone's on edge because everyone's just on edge because you're expecting like it all to just kick off. I mean, Tottenham away is another one, but Tottenham away is nothing compared to Millwall away, mate. That's just different. That's a proper London derby.
I quite like playing Millwall. I didn't mind playing them. I like the rivalry and I like all of that sort of thing. And but it's just getting paraded round. Like literally, you've got a line of police from when you get on at Canning Town to when you get off. Right at like they cause so much trouble at that stadium. They've got their own station for the away end.
Yeah, it would be an interesting one to play. Like I said, they are our main rivals, and we never get to play them.
We last played them in 2009, didn't we? And
which is a lot of trouble. It's a long old time ago. See, it's one of them things, isn't it? You wonder, like, if we played them like every week for like 5 years or whatever, would it still be as ferocious? Do people get themselves more up for it because they know, well, we don't know when we're going to play them again, and they rise to it? I mean, not that there'd be no trouble, but to the level of what there is.
Oh yeah, there will be. Trust me, there would be. That is that's the game they want.
Just before my uncle died, we covered his back in lard. After that, he went downhill quickly.
Oh, fucking hell. I hope that is a joke.
Dead or alive, what famous person would you want to happy Xmas dinner with and pour a cracker with them?
It's always a hard one because you've got to think of every person that exists that you know.
Dead or I'll probably have to. I don't know. It's a difficult one because there's so many people. I mean, You wouldn't need to read the shit cracker jokes if you had someone like Robin Williams sitting around your Christmas table, because he'd just be doing the jokes. But yeah,
I think he's like, I love Robin Williams, but I think he'd be too much. He's just too hyper all of the time. Like,
yeah, but
because you get to that point.
I'd love that. Imagine bringing the cheese ball down and he just.
Playing charades with him would be fucking the right laugh, wouldn't it? Imagine him
playing charades with him would be brilliant. But there's a point in the afternoon on Christmas Day that I just want to sit there, fat, trousers undone, sit there watching the telly, saying "fuck all" for about 2 hours or something. Why everything's calming down and all that sort of thing. You've been up since. I mean, when you've got children, Dan, you'll understand. But you've been up since fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, opening Christmas presents and cleaning up and cooking breakfast and then cooking dinner and all of that sort of thing. And it's just a point at about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock where I just want to sit there for a couple of hours until we start on the booze again, just fucking doing nothing, sitting there watching the telly or something, just chilling out, everything quiet. Maybe drop it off to sleep a little bit, and you got this cunt running around doing like fucking impressions all the time, or fucking.
You think that's what he'd be doing? We go, "Hey, Nicky, oh, you want to hear another impression?" Hey, like that.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah, you just be like leaning over, going, "Leave it out, fuck off, Robin, leave it out."
I just want to watch James
Bond. Gavin's just said Roy Keane. I want Roy Keane because he start judging your Christmas dinner, and then he'll blame Pogba.
It'd be a laugh.
They didn't want to fight Paul Pogba outside. I don't know why Paul Pogba's in the house, but
he's popped round.
I think Declan Rice would be a good laugh. It'd be a good laugh around there. He seems like a good vibe. So
I reckon Noble would be a good one. I reckon he likes playing Christmas games, Noble. I reckon he'd be the first to get the balls of Christmas games out. Have a little bit of a laugh, and then he reminds me of one of them blokes that gets the karaoke out about 9 o'clock. When everyone,
and then he's had a couple of Baileys.
Yeah, then a couple of Baileys later, he falls asleep. And do you know what? You get to that point in your life at Christmas where you're getting old, and when you put a Christmas cracker out on it, you don't fit.
Yeah.
It's all tiny on your head, and you're like,
don't you think it's funny where you get the most stone-faced people that you've ever seen, the most serious people sitting there with a paper crown on their head, but they're looking at you so stone-faced and they've been trying to have a serious conversation with you, and they've got this little bit of paper on their fucking forehead.
Yeah, but but then they always get a shit toy out of a cracker and act like it's the best thing in the world, like they've never seen it before.
All right. What's the worst toy in a cracker?
Oh, little plastic frog things, but
you can do something with them.
They're like proper cheap crackers, isn't they?
Yeah,
paperclip is shit.
Paperclip is pretty bad.
I hate the little fish.
The little fish.
The
most useless fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. The little, at least you can fucking clip some papers together with a fucking paper clipper, or someone just said nail clippers. No, you can clip your nails with that. A little paper fish that rolls around in your hand doing fuck all. Just making a mess on the floor. Magic fish, man. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. It's supposed to tell your mood or say it's a load of bollocks. It's just shit. It's just shit. But yeah, Christmas crackers, a load of crap in them for the most part. I love getting nail clippers.
We got some really expensive Christmas crackers one year. We got some really good things in them.
Yeah, my mum usually gets the expensive ones, and you do get some half decent things. But I just think, how can you pay all that money for a box of crackers? It's crazy.
See, my mum got them the previous Christmas on sale for like a third of the price or something. They was meant to be like 200 quid, and she got them for like 60 quid or I don't know, maybe a bit more than that. But it was like, it was really good. Like, you got jewelry in them and all of that sort of thing. But I got a fucking my fucking lucky thing. I got a diary from that year because they'd been bought the year before. I got a 2007 diary or something like that, and it was fucking just coming into 2008, which was brilliant.
Plastic moustache. I don't know if I feel a plastic moustache, but yeah. But it's interesting to see a Chelsea fan that's nervous tomorrow, not giving it large. If we was doing a watch along tomorrow, the Chelsea fans are the ones Chelsea and Spurs come into our watch alongs a lot when we're losing, even if we're not playing them, and give it. So it's nice to see a nice grounded Chelsea fan.
Do you know what else with what makes you laugh when you have a big family Christmas dinner is that you get the emergency chairs out and everyone's at a different level. You got like you're up there and your nan's down there and then your dad's up there and then you go around the table and everyone's at different levels.
Yeah, but it's all a small person always falls on a small chair and they're eating their dinner like that.
Yeah, but they've got like you've got the plastic garden chairs that are soaking fucking wet. You see it now. Oh fucking hell! Family Christmases, eh? Love them. We're hosting this year. We've got about 15 people coming round.
Bloody hell!
I'm fucking off out. I think
if there is still one hanging around, who of you lads would I DM about a WHF TV pint after moving in with the girlfriend in a week and a loved one for a drink tonight? Yeah, I think we've still got some knocking around, mate. I think there's a few left.
We need to get a lot of these. We need to get a lot and start selling these proper so everyone can get one because these are quality. So yeah, hopefully we can sort that out. And
maybe we get I know that's a post-match pint one, isn't it? Maybe we get a Friday night pint one.
Yeah, you could have options. People could choose what they want and then buy it. Right? It's always just so hard for people to buy one. So hopefully we can sort that out and everyone can just go bang, bang, bang and get their glasses because they're great. They're good quality.
Boys, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm ready to wrap it up if you are.
Yeah, you give you predictions for tomorrow.
I'm going to be bold. I'm saying 2-1 West Ham. I'm saying it. I was thinking draw. I was trying to feel a draw. I'm going to say no. Start Lanzini, even though I know I give him some stick against Man City and he scored instantly. He does well in this fixture. Stick him in. Let's do it. 2-1 West Ham.
Funny enough, I've also gone 2-1 in my predictions, and I said to my mate in work, I sort of read the game out to him what's going to happen. I said we're going to go 2-0 up, and we're going to surprise everyone. Then Chelsea are going to get one back, and then we're going to be back to the wall for the rest of the game. The only thing that worries me is Lukaku's back. He's got an unbelievable record against us, and Zuma tomorrow, and whoever plays alongside him, whether it's Dawson or Diop, they've got to be up for it tomorrow. They have to be.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you know, Chelsea at the back, they're not. Sometimes they look all over the place. So the key battle is going to be in midfield, you know. But they've got some good players. Loftus-Cheek at the moment is playing really well. He's found a bit of form. So yeah, 2-1.
I think 3-2. 3-2 to us.
Another 3-2. Interesting. Hopefully Antonio. You know, Antonio does is quite good in this fixture as well, actually. So could happen.
Yeah, he normally gives them a bit of a run around, doesn't he? But we got to be better than we was the other night, and I'll be happy with that, even if we lost. To be quite honest.
Yeah. Let's go for it.
Yeah, look, if we go there tomorrow and we give Chelsea a game and we lose, you just got to hold your hands up because, look, Chelsea are the better team and they've proved it this season. That's why they're top of the league. But I can see us pulling out a result tomorrow. I really can. And I've said to me, mate, Chelsea, well, usually when we play Chelsea early kickoffs, you know, even when we was in a relegation battle once, we beat them 1-0 and out of it. So, yeah, it's... we seem to have a good, especially the last few years. And it was 2 years ago the other day that we beat them, didn't we, at Stamford Bridge 1-0. So
yeah,
let's hope that luck's on our side tomorrow and VAR or whatever goes our side. It hits the underside of the crossbar and goes in. There's no player on the line this time. Let's just hope that luck goes our way. And listen, I'll take a scrappy 1-0 and play shit. Don't get me wrong, but
I just got to mention this quickly before we go. Because I forgot to mention this. I did read this just before I come on. Anyone listen to Antonio's podcast with Callum Wilson? Sorry if you mentioned it already, tuned in late. No.
Didn't even know about it. Didn't even know Callum Wilson had a podcast.
Yeah, I think it's BBC. Yeah. No, I think they've started it together. I think it's going to be a real good thing.
They've started it together. It's Antonio.
It's weird active players like starting podcasts and shit. Yeah.
Antonio said it's a route that he wants to go down, and I think Antonio, for me, he's never going to go on and be a football coach, is he? He's always going to be something like he wants to be in the media or something like that. I get that's the vibe I get from him, and I think it's just the route footballers want to go down now, isn't it? They just interview each other and talk. It's like I watched it. I love the overlap with Gary Neville. I'm halfway through Frank Lampard interview, and it's brilliant. Whatever you think of Frank Lampard, it's really good. And I watched the one with Jamie Carragher the other week, Alan Shearer. It's brilliant, and it's good to see football players relax a little bit.
Not me, I was on it.
Yeah, but I see you every fucking.
Oh, right.
You ask one question.
Yeah, I asked 40 questions, but they cut them out.
Yeah.
I had a 2 hour.
To be fair, it's really good. And the Lampard one was really interesting.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
I like it as well. I like the Roy Keane one.
Nice.
That was a really good one, the Roy Keane one, when he was walking the dog.
Yeah.
I see that.
It is a really good channel, is one. But,
you need to go get some rest. Make sure you have a limb sit, mate. Make sure you have a limb sit.
I will. I can't do all of that anyway. But
I've got to sort out the stuff now, and I've got to head out in a minute. And, I'll see you over there tomorrow. Nice and early kick off.
No worries at all. Thank you very much to everyone contributing to the chat tonight. It's been brilliant, as usual, speaking to you all on a Friday night. Thanks to the boys. Thanks for Graham for popping along as well. It was nice to see you.
He found his internet.
He's hiding in his shoe.
Graham's probably balancing out the window now, like trying to get a bit of reception. As soon as he gets it, we're going to log off.
Yeah, that'd be typical Graham. But thanks very much. Go and check out Scotty's preview. It's up already. For the Chelsea game tomorrow. Obviously, we're building up towards the Chelsea game. We'll be back tomorrow morning with a little show before we go there. Obviously, all the fan cams, post-match pint and all that sort of stuff after that. But, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. Go and check out our Christmas jumpers. We've got like a Christmas jumpers on the website now, so the link is in the description down below for those. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can. The link is in the description for that. And as I say, we'll be building up towards Chelsea tomorrow. One thing left to say, lads.
Come on, you eye.